So what up, squad? So let's go ahead and talk about the M1 Mac Mini as well as the M1 iMac. Now in this video, I'm going to be breaking everything down and telling you guys which one is right for you, because I don't want you out there having any surprises when it comes to buying one over the other. But before we actually hop right into that, I want you guys to go ahead, comment down below right now after hitting that like button and tell me how many likes is actually on this video at the time of you guys watching it. So by now, if you guys haven't been living under a rock, then you guys are familiar with Apple's latest Mac Mini with the new M1 processor in it. That is definitely an upgrade from Intel's processors for sure. And just last week, Apple actually announced the latest iMacs as well. Now comes in with the new M1 processor in it as well. But CKid, I'm in the market for a new computer, but I don't know which one to actually get. Well, I'm glad you actually asked, because I'm getting ready to break this down to you in simple terms. Now, first thing I want you guys to understand and get out of the way is that internally, when it comes to this machine, it is literally the exact same processor with both of them. So what that means is, from a performance perspective, you guys are essentially buying or looking at the exact same computer, but there's a couple of little differences that I want you guys to be aware of from a cost perspective that I think you guys need to know about. So let's go ahead and start with the M1 Mac Mini, since this is the one that I personally own right now. When buying an M1 Mac Mini, guys, it does not come with a monitor. So this will be an additional cost that you will have to shell out more money for, but this is also why I personally like the M1 Mac Mini, because it offers like the flexibility for me to be able to set up my workstation how I actually want it to look. Now, currently my setup is the M1 Mac Mini paired with two monitors for a clean setup. Now I have ultra wide monitors that is hooked up to this thing, and it is super fire. Whereas if you guys were to purchase a new iMac, it's an all built-in display, and it has everything you guys need to get you guys up and running without having to go hunt and go into a micro center for any of that to go find that perfect monitor or two monitors for your setup. So for the people that are out there, and if you guys are okay with Apple's 4.5K Retina display, which is gonna look extremely good and extremely sharp with vibrant colors and all of that, then the iMac might be a better option for you. But regardless of which one you guys decide, from a monitor perspective, you can still have a dual setup regardless. Just understand that the Mac Mini you have will have a matching set of monitors, and the iMac that you have will have one of the screens being different, since Apple do not sell monitors that would actually match your setup that you have, which I wish Apple went back to actually selling monitors that didn't cost $5,000. But again, guys, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. Now this actually leads me to my next point with the M1 Mac Mini. It is an ultimate space saver for maintaining a clean desk setup. Now, when I tell you guys, I'm super spoiled when it comes to the M1 Mac Mini because of its size, that it literally takes up hardly any space off of my desk. And if you are somebody that's like my brother, who literally bought the M1 Mac Mini, and he bought this mount here that I have right up here on the screen, and I'll also link it down in the description section below if you guys want to pick this out. But essentially, it literally will hide your machine completely under your desk, making your desk even more cleaner, as well as keeping it a minimal setup, which is ideal. Even with the new iMac, right, I still think it's a clean setup and a clean design with this all built in one setup, and it's still gonna have your setup looking super clean. But I give the edge to the Mac Mini in this category because it is much smaller in size and can be tucked away literally under a desk, or even if you want to attach it to the back of your monitor using that mount that I just told you guys about. It's just gonna make it even more portable of a machine than something like an iMac. So just understand what your needs are for the space that you have, and just pick the right one that is best for you. Now, another reason that this M1 Mac Mini might be the right one for you is because of the gigabit Ethernet port being on the actual device itself. So on the M1 Mac Mini, right, it's located right on the back of the machine, just like it's always have when it comes to most computers out there. But on the iMac, because of this machine is so thin in its size, they had to actually move it to the charging power brick. So now you have to run the Ethernet cable from your power brick to the router, or if you just like me, you would just use it as a Wi-Fi machine. Now, for most people, this difference won't really be that big of a deal, since most people actually use Wi-Fi instead, unless you're a creator that's like me and you need that hardwired in fast upload speeds for uploading videos to YouTube. But just understand that there will be a difference in cable management if you guys want to hardwire your setup when it comes to a iMac versus a Mac Mini. Now, when it comes to video editing, browsing the web, playing music, listening to podcasts, watching your favorite TV shows, and overall just the Apple ecosystem experience, for the most part, this experience is basically going to be the same whether you guys have an iMac or if you have the Mac Mini. But the iMac does have some pretty nice advantages that we got to talk about. For starters, the iMac comes in 6 different color options that can actually match most people's setup, whereas the Mac Mini just pretty much comes in a standard gray color. Also for the iMac, right, you get the option for your computer accessories to be able to match, like the trackpad, the Magic Mouse, as well as that new keyboard to be able to match, which I personally think is dope. And I also want to point out, when it comes to the iMac, right, the Magic Keyboard and the mouse comes with it, so that's not an additional cost that you got to shell out. But if you guys decide to go with the Mac Mini, then you're gonna have to buy a keyboard and you're gonna have to buy a mouse separately. But what's better with this option is you can actually choose from a numerous amounts of keyboards as well as mice that are out there. Now, I personally use the Logitech MS Keys as well as the MS Mouse 3, which is the best keyboard and mouse combo in my personal opinion. But let's go ahead and talk about this new Magic Keyboard that only comes with the 8-core CPU and the GPU models. This is another difference that I have to say, and I'm hyped that Apple finally, and I mean finally, guys, they brought this our way, and that is this new Magic Keyboard finally has Touch ID on it. Now, I've been asking for this feature, guys, for the longest, and it's finally here, man, and I'm hyped for it. So no more having to type in your passwords anymore. Even if you got an Apple Watch, you don't even have to use your Apple Watch to unlock your machine anymore, because you can just use Touch ID. Now, to me, this is a major convenience feature that I'm personally here for. Now, another edge with picking up the M1 iMac over something like the Mac Mini is the 1080p built-in camera, whereas with the Mac Mini, you will have to go out and buy a third-party webcam if it's actually something that you need. Now, I do understand that not everyone out there needs a webcam, so this may or may not actually affect you, but for those people that it does, here is the difference that you need to know. Now, this camera now has been upgraded from 720p to 1080p and has a larger sensor, which is gonna allow that camera to be able to bring in more light, which is gonna help with bringing in high quality video calls for Zoom as well as Skypes regularly. Whereas with the Mac Mini, you will have to go out and buy a webcam as well as a microphone and external speakers, because the Mac Mini, guys, is just the computer and you have to build everything you want around it. Now, when it comes to the iMac, they've even upgraded the speakers as well as the microphones on this thing here, so that way you will be getting literally all of everything you guys need built right in, and you just open up the box, get right to it, ready to jump in, and you're good to go. So which one is going to be the best one for you? Are you the type of person out there who likes to actually go out and you like building your setup around the computer with picking out monitors, picking out speakers, microphones, and all of that, but you actually enjoy that minimal setup as well in your space? Then I personally think the M1 Mac Mini is going to be the more perfect option for you, especially if you already own a set of monitors and you don't want to have to either get rid of them or sell them. Then you could just hook those up right to the Mac Mini and then just keep using them, and I think that's going to be the perfect option for you. But on the flip side of that, if you are more of the person that you don't really like having to do all of that and you would just prefer to just open up the box and everything just be built in and ready to go as soon as you guys plug it in, then I personally think the iMac is going to be the better option for you. Again, when it comes to performance, they both are rocking literally the exact same processor, the same amount of cores in them. So you will not really notice it. You will not notice a difference at all from that perspective. To put it in short, one is basically just more convenient over the other. So let me know down in the comment section below which one that you guys would actually use depending on your situation. Go ahead and hit that like button for me right now, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, make sure you guys check out the other Apple content that I have right here. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Squad. Because I was like, well, what if I lost my AirTag? Like, am I out of just my $30? Is my $30 just going out the window? AirTags, 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 and AirTags. They finally here, y'all. Now, if you guys are somebody like me and you're just like, isn't that just like the towel tracker, but like Apple branded instead? The answer to that is yes, but There's a big no to that too. Now, there's some major differences with this one, especially if you guys have an iPhone 11 or 12 or 12 Pro, anything like that. Now, the first thing I want to actually talk with you guys about with these is the look and the design of these.
Back, so tell me, is you gonna ride out when the chips fall?
The look pretty much has this small, like, circular design that is made where the back of it seems to be made out of like the same like stainless steel that's on something like the, hold on y'all, let me get it real quick. The heck did I do with my Apple Watch? Hold on y'all. Can't find my Apple Watch. All right, there we go. I found it. Now, it seems to pretty much be made out of the same stainless steel that's on the back of the Apple Watch with Apple's logo that's on it. Then there's the white material that is on the top of these AirTags. Now, the size of it seems pretty small when they was actually showing it during the presentation today, which I gotta say, Apple's presentations, y'all, is by far the best that's out there. Now, one thing that I actually like about it is the price. Price literally starting at $29 for one, and then you get 4 of them for $99, which I personally think is ideal because let's be honest, if you buy one, you're gonna put them on something like your car keys, right? Then next thing you know, you're gonna wanna put them on something like your wallet or whatever else. Just right there, that's 2 of them. So you already out of 60 bucks with that. You might as well go ahead and get the 4-pack, save yourself $30. I'm just saying, I'm trying to help you out. Let me help you and you help me. That's how we get down on here.
Take me back, so tell me, is you gonna ride out when the chips fall?